I wanted to play some Blitz and Rapid games. I think I'll start off with a Blitz game as kind of a warm-up. Should be able to get a game pretty quick. There's 14,000 games going. Here we go. Benkulian. Start off with e4, see what he's got. Pretty evenly rated here. c6, so he's going for the Caro-Kann. I'll do the advanced variation. I play that, and sometimes I play the Panov-Botvinnik attack. So this is the short system where you just castle. Get your pieces out in castle. Don't worry about the bishop. You can sometimes make a target of it later. Let's defend the center here. Yeah, there was a point I was considering playing my knight to h4, hitting the bishop. That would have been an opportunity to do that. But I wasn't quite sure, if he's going to castle kingside or not. He hasn't really committed. Okay, let's get a rook on the c file. That seems logical. And maybe I can push some pawns forward on the queen side and create some weaknesses there. He still hasn't committed to castling. I wonder if he's going to keep his king in the center. Ah, so he takes a look at my queen side here. So let's count the pieces. I've got 3 pieces defending and he's got 2 attacking. Also needed to defend the b pawn here. So I could have played knight to... I can still play that. Knight to a4. Hits the queen. He takes my queen. I take his queen. He takes my rook. I take his rook. I don't know if I want to go for that so quick. Let's just kick the bishop and see what its plan is. What is your plan, Sir Bishop? Wants to take. So I want to take with a pawn. Even though I won't be able to get in rook b1, I think it's nice to be able to push the c pawn forward. Because of his bishop over here is controlling that c1 or b1 square. Didn't want to be stuck with a backward c pawn, and also, let's chip away at the center. Makes some sense, I think. And now this knight to, even though he still hasn't castled, this knight to h4 move is looking more attractive. If he opens up the h file by taking back with the h pawn, he doesn't have pieces over here to contribute to the attack. He's just got a rook. And his king will be stuck in the middle. So he's offering a queen trade. He takes the queen, I take back. This pawn is still defended, so I can go ahead and take here. Or maybe he just wants to take this pawn. But he's got a knight that's hanging, so he's got to deal with that first. He can't move the knight because it's needed to defend the queen. Okay, he wants to do that. So yeah, now I can harass the bishop, but he also gave his bishop an escape square. Do I have other ideas here? Well, before I can move the knight, I need to defend my e pawn. So let's start with that, my d pawn rather. Maybe just push the f pawn forward here, supported by the knight and the bishops and the rook on f1. If I can hold on to the center. Another idea might be to put some pressure on his d pawn, which is not defended at the moment. But, well, I could do both. I could play f4 first, and then I could play bishop f3. So let's start with this. Also threatening to trap the bishop, I guess. The bishop has the square. Yeah, he has that square. So f5. He plays a g-pawn forward. I can take en passant. This is still defended. His knight's not coming in here. Might come in here. Let's try f5. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that was a good idea. I can't retreat my knight without hanging that pawn now. And I can't place my bishop here either to attack his bishop. I could put a bishop on d3, maybe. That's the way to deal with that pesky bishop. Okay, now I'll get to double my rooks here, it looks like. And I've got a nice grip here on the f-pawn still with the knight. King's coming over, so can I break through in some way? Could attack the b-pawn over here, see where that wants to go. It's a little tricky, right? I've got pressure on the knight. He can't move the b-pawn or he'll lose the knight. Yeah, he can move the knight and defend the b-pawn. Okay. Then he can jump. He can hop into the... hop into the c5 square. Let's save my bishop. c4 square. And then he plays there. Well, I was going to push this pawn forward. Let's try and open things up here. I can also look to put pressure on this knight along the second rank. Let's see where it doesn't have squares to go to in the forward direction. It can go back back to b8, or it can be defended. If I get a rook to b7, for example, hitting it. Oh, it's got b6 because the knights support each other there. Okay, let's take once. Took with the rook. So I could move my rook to the side attacking this pawn. I could just push it forward. I think I should take the rook and attack the pawn this way. Yeah, now his rook is tied up. Let's see, can I go after... these pawns in the center, maybe. Ah, he's going to bring his knight to this square. That's true. Let's see. Let's put the bishop here, attacking his rook. Didn't want to be losing any tempo gaining moves. Yeah, so let's bring my knight forward and promote this pawn, or look to try and promote that pawn. He wants to push that one. So if I just push, though, his knight is guarding that square here. Let's put this bishop here. I have an idea. Take this knight off, take this pawn, because then I can push this one forward and he can't stop it if he takes my rook. In some order. Maybe I push the pawn first, then I take the knight, then I take the pawn here. So he's hitting my bishop. He's threatening mate here in a way. That's threatened to get a queen. I mean, if he got a rook on the back rank, he's guarding this escape square. He needs to drop his rook back and defend that pawn. Then I can take here. But I might need to kick that knight first. So that I'm not getting mated against the back rank. I'm thinking, you know, he drops back, I take, he takes, I get a queen, and then he mates me. So that was, his rook goes here. I take here. He takes back. Oh, he decided to resign. Well, that's interesting. Is that because he was low on time? I think it's a good position for me. Oh, his rook can't go back. That's what I was missing. His rook can't go back to defend it. So that was a clean win. Okay, let's see. Let's play a rapid game now. We use their automatic matching here. So we get a 10 plus 5 rapid instead of the 8 plus 4 that I've been playing. But I think it'll be interesting. Try a different time control. Here we go. Yeah, let's start off with D4 this time. Sodian Hunter. So pretty evenly matched here. D4, C5. He wants a Benoni. I'll oblige. I can play a Benoni. He wants a check Benoni. Have we played before? I had someone play this against me, but this is my first time against this player. So I don't know this opening in particular. In general, the check Benoni, yeah, break points here and here. That's white wants to get in those pawn pushes to break things open, and black has symmetric break points here and here. So he wants to push his pawns forward. So last time I tried this maneuver here. This is to support the f-pawn coming forward. And let's kick the bishop and see if he wants to trade. Huh. He doesn't want to trade. Here, let's close off that diagonal for now. So game has varied from the one I played previously already. So I can bring my knight to g3. His bishop will drop back here. I could even consider getting my knight to f5. Let's go to g3 at least, so I can get my bishop off the back rank and castle. Let's keep the center well defended here. He's going to move the knight and push that f-pawn at some point, I imagine. And yeah, there he goes. He's preparing that. something like that. He's also hitting my loose knight here. Let's drop back. He can't move his knight forward. I'll take it if it goes to either of those places, and I can still get in my f5 move. Yeah, I guess I can't play g3 there. So he can force a trade now. Bit annoying, but that's the way it is. I'm going to go bishop to e3 and back to f2. So it's a weird position. It's very closed. So it's not such a problem that I may have to waste a few moves straightening out my position here. But probably there was probably something I could have done better there. Yeah, I'm just going to oppose the bishop on this diagonal. Force a trade. Can't have these pieces hanging around my king. It's not safe. He's actually lagging in development a bit here. He hasn't developed his knight. So he's kind of banking on killing me out of the opening. Let's take. And we'll trade queens here too. Unless he wants to go back. Nope. Okay, so this has all been fine for me. Now I can expand on the queen side. And the center is closed. Okay. Start with this move. There we go. Going to get an open line here. Just one open line, but it's better than none. One is better than none. It's only half open though. Okay, I'm going to pile up on the B file here. Okay, he wants to move his knight, and when he does, my my c-pawn will be hanging. What can I do about that? I could bring my knight in first. It's not quite working. I mean, I could put my knight on b5, threatening this pawn, but he can push it forward, and then I don't have any great squares to go to. Well, I could still go to a7 and then to c6. Yeah, okay, I guess it does work. So now if he moves his knight in the forward direction, I can take it with my bishop. And yeah, this is the line I was expecting. And now I can pile up on the b pawn. Should I pause to defend? No, I can't. I can't pause to defend. So let's think about this. I attack the b pawn. He takes the knight, I take back, and he takes with the rook, and then he's a pawn up. Ah, but I have the bishop here then. Okay. I don't have the bishop there. I keep thinking that I can play the bishop. I keep thinking I can play the bishop to that square, and I just can't because his knight takes it every time. Yeah, so now he's attacking that pawn. Okay. Let us defend it. See if he can find a way to make progress here. This is not my favorite kind of position, really. I don't like these closed positions where it's hard to get much going active. So I always try to open things up when I get the chance. And sometimes people who like these closed positions sometimes get into trouble because they don't know how to deal with it when things start opening up. But I blundered here. I am just losing here. Yep. Okay, let's resign that one. Let's see if we can get a new game here. Yeah, let's try a real quick blitz game. So just going to mix it up. Luchin tops, 1751. Well, let's go with the e4, e5. The old favorites. Going for the Italian game. Very popular these days. Going for the classical line with the c3. So the quiet variation is d3. Yeah. I will play h6 to stop the pin because I want to keep my bishop outside the pawn chain. Then I will play a move to defend the center. I was a little bit vulnerable there. Then I will play a move to stop him from expanding on the queen side. I want to castle, but sometimes you have to get these other moves in first. And it helps. It helps. I wanted to stop this pin here. So bishop there, I can take it. Or I can retreat and let him take. I think I'll take this time. See how he takes back. He goes for the open F file. I was wondering about that. It's an idea here, but because he moved his rook to the F file, it's actually a bit slower than usual. Let's open up the center. He moved his rook off of the F file onto the E file, and so I'm not so afraid of this open F file at the moment. And yeah, he keeps opening things up. Let's see how this works. So I get my bishop developed here to a good square, looking at his bishop, which is loose there. I need to get my queen off the back rank so I can bring a rook over to the center. Maybe just queen d7. Queen d7 does invite bishop to b5, pinning the knight. So he retreats that way. There's also bishop queen d6 rather. Looking at the f4 square and h2. I could play knight f4 immediately. It's looking kind of attractive, although I have to be worried about these pawn pushes here. I now recognize that that's a fork at some point. Yeah, he's trying to set it up. Okay, so let's get my bishop out of the way and put a little pressure on his knight. He defends. Let's get the queen off the back rank. So knight h3 check. Pawn takes knight. Bishop takes knight. He's not giving me time for that. Yeah, okay, so if I move that queen to the side, it's running into the scope of the bishop there. Is there something I can play? If I play the check and then he takes the knight, then I can actually take this knight with my queen. But he could take the bishop then. Yeah, I don't like any of the squares from my queen. Let's just retreat. Maybe I made a mistake there. I was thinking if I take the knight, it might be a problem because he could take with the queen, and then I was having trouble figuring out where a good square for my my knight is. Although maybe I could just defend it. So he takes the bishop now, I can take back with the knight. I was worried about pawn damage to my king side here. Basically, okay, let's take there. That's an easy decision. Took with the rook. Okay, so I'm going to take off the bishop next, I think. So it's not so much of a problem for me to retreat my knight. And then I'm going to bring my rook to the center, oppose his rook. If I get the chance. He could play rook to the other rook. The A rook to E1 would be, this would be a problem for me. He played it. Yeah, so I can't play rook to E8, which I want to. Let's see, what can I do? Can oppose the queen. Trying to put my queen on a square where his knight won't attack it, because it was getting annoying. All those squares the knight covers. Okay, now my knight comes back and covers the entry point on E7, and it hits his rook. He could have, oh no, that pawn was not hanging. So now there's a check here. Let's ignore that and go for the open E file here. Yeah, it's the open E file. Let's see if he wants to trade. See if I can do anything with my rook. My rook and my knight. Getting low on time here. These fast games are tricky. Okay. And yeah, I want to bring my knight in, and I want to bring my rook in. Can I do them both? That is the question. Knight check here maybe is interesting. Okay, let's start mopping up pawns. Yeah, he's going to start taking pawns too. Okay, let's defend that one. Let's see where his knight is going. Back there. Okay, I can kick the knight with a move like that. This pawn is still hanging over here, down to 11 seconds. And take here. Let's start marching those pawns forward. Let's get my rook out of the way. Okay, oops. Let's take. He was waiting till the last minute to try and catch me in a mistake. And he ran out of time. Okay, well, that was exciting. Anyway, I just thought I would do this little session. I might do some more of these with the combination of Blitz and Rapid. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.